name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today is Monday, 19 December, and this is episode 51. I love to crochet and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for this podcast. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutch English. I make 2 episodes every Monday, one in Dutch and one in English. And I tell you about my handwerkperikelen. That's Dutch for crafty adventures from last week. I didn't have much knitting time last week, so I don't have a lot to show you, but I do have a finished object. I want to tell you a bit about what I'm wearing, and I have some other stuff I want to share with you. I hope it will be a shorter episode. I always think episodes from 30 minutes are perfect, but I never make it in 30 minutes. I always talked too long, way too long. But maybe today I can try. Maybe today it will work out. Okay, what am I wearing? I am wearing my Hiedra headband by FiberTales, a pattern from Leuk. And I am wearing my Maja sweater. Not my Maja cardigan, but my Maja sweater. This is original a pattern for a cardigan, a sticked cardigan. It is from Järbo. The Swedish company, and the pattern is in English, and they made a pattern. No, it's by an Icelandic designer. Oh, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. By an Icelandic designer, she made this design for Järbo for a sticked cardigan, and I made a sweater of it. I was playing with my own sweater pattern. No, it's not a pattern, it's a recipe. I know you say it more for cooking than for knitting, but I think it sounds funny, a knitting recipe. I love low necklines, and I discovered the way I can knit a sweater with a low neckline from bottom up last year. I made this one in April, I guess, March, April, and I think there's an English episode in which I explain all the things I do in detail. But nowadays, I have learned now by knitting the Kerr sweater from Rebecca from the Creabea and knitting the home sweater V-neck from Kadri, how you can make a drop shoulder construction top down. I prefer top-down knitting because you can add some length to the sleeves or to the body if you want to, and you can fit. And when you knit bottom-up, it's more a risk that it will be too short or too long. This is a bottom-up pattern. You knit bottom-up, you start with the sleeves and then the body, and then you connect. And in the original pattern, there's a round yoke with also some color work. But I used the charge for the color work for the sleeves and for the lower body. And if I remember correctly, I did some changes. I think I skipped something, but I don't know exactly. It isn't important, but I love this cardigan. No, it's not a cardigan. I love this sweater. I knit it in Letttlopi. And the drop shoulder constructions, I had to fix something with my sewing machine because I don't remember if I add short rows or not, but the shoulders were there was a part here, 2 points. I didn't like the fit. And then I decided, okay, let's make some, let's sew it together with my sewing machine and cut the fabric, which was too much. Just cut it off. It was quite exciting because a stick cutting in my knitwear is not very exciting when you do it vertically. Do you say it like that? But when you do it horizontally, that way, it is exciting because that has much more effect on your knitting, and the chance to unravel your knitting is bigger. But I secured it with my sewing machine, and nothing ever happened. I wear the sweater a lot now. It's perfect. I love the long cuffs. I love the pattern, and yeah, I want to try to make one top down with the things I've learned last year to make a drop shoulder sweater top down. I can see this sweater in now, let's see, 4 or 5 other color combinations, and I love wearing this on my dress or on my skirt, and it's perfect. It's perfect for winter. The neckline is quite low. Maybe I should add some rows to the ribbing to make it a bit more. But it's okay. It's okay. I love this feminine look, and I really love this sweater. So my Maja sweater. I don't know which podcast number, but I think in one of the early English ones, I tell you all about this sweater. If you would like to know, you can search that one. Okay. I had a very busy week last week, so with hardly any knitting time, but I do have a finished object. I finished these socks. I finished them yesterday evening, so they aren't blocked yet, and you can see it. They are a bit messy. They are actually quite a bit big for all my sock blockers. But this pair of socks is for my daughter's boyfriend. His birthday is next week, and I knit him a pair of Dikke socks. I held some sock yarn double. It is lang yarn Järbo. I divided all my skeins in 2, and then I held it double to knit with a 3mm needle, and I really love the fabric. It was quite fun to knit it. And I told you last week, there was a part of me, I made jogged stripes. I always make jogless stripes, but there was a part of me, I think my inner rebel, that want to knit imperfect stripes, jogged stripes. And when I knit jogless stripes, I always slip the first stitch of the second row in a color purlwise, and that's all, and then it's okay. But I don't want to do it, and I don't know why. And when I finished the socks, I knit them magic loop, so you can't see it, but when I put them on sock blockers, I thought, why did I want jogged stripes and not jogless stripes? But I can laugh about it, and I don't think he will notice, so that's absolutely fine. So I finished these socks. I always knit my socks toe up. When I started knitting socks, I started knitting them cuff down. But then a Dutch knitter learned me how to do it toe up, and I prefer toe up because of the cast on. I prefer the Turkish cast on I always use. It's just so easy and quick, and when you knit cuff down, you have to cast on more stitches, and you have to be careful they don't get twisted when you join your stitches in the round. And it isn't hard, but I don't like it as much as the Turkish cast on. And also for the bind off, when you knit cuff down, you have to do, you close your stitches, you close the gap at the end of the toe with the Kitchener stitch. And I don't mind the Kitchener stitch, I do like it. But I prefer binding off the stitches for the cuff. I always use an extra stretchy bind off, so there is extra stretch. I don't like it when my socks are tight at the cuff. And I think it's more easy. You also can cast on them quite loosely, but I prefer this one. So that's the main reason. And also when you knit toe up, this part of the foot is until the heel is you can't change because you knit a specific size, and there are specific amounts of centimeters you need to knit until you start the heel. But for the leg, you can you can use your creativity. You can make very short socks, a very short leg, or a very long leg, or in between, and you can knit up your skein or not. And yeah, I like to save this for the last part. You can also start with it, but I don't know. I absolutely prefer this one, and I never knit cuff down socks anymore, I guess. Maybe when a pattern tells me to. I think last year I knit a lace sock and I did it, but I don't like it. I prefer this. I try to knit my heel. I always knit a shadow wrap short row heel, and I try to knit it between stripes. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and I have to add the heel in the middle of a stripe, but now I added it in between, and I always forgot that my heel is part of, when I knit magic loop, half of the stitches, so part of one row. So I finished the stripe and cut off my yarn, and then I thought, oh no, now it's time for the heel. So then you are at the front of your sock, and it's okay, it's absolutely okay. But when I was so my heel was at the front and not at the back. It would be better when my last half round on my magic loop, I would use when I would use it for the heel. But now I just knit in the gray color, I guess. Yes, in the dark gray, no dark brown. In the dark brown color, and then my first half round I used for the heel. So the heel was at the front, and when I checked my woven ends, they are at under the foot, and I don't mind. I'm not quite a sensitive person for socks, but I can imagine if you are very sensitive, you can feel this. The yarn ends under your foot, and when they are on the other side of your foot, on the upside, it would be less sensitive. So I have to remind it. But there is quite a chance I will forget it next time. So then the yarn ends would be on this side, and it's not, I can imagine at the bottom it's more sensitive. But it is what it is. So I knit these, and it was my plan. I had 3 shades of every color, 3 shades of gray, 3 shades of brown, and 3 shades of green. So these were the darkest 3, and then now let me see. Oh no, and when I added the lighter gray and the lighter brown and then the lighter green, I didn't like it. So I went back to the dark gray and skipped some colors from my basket and put them away and only used these colors. It was way too busy and too much color, and this is perfect. I love the color combination. They are very nice and warm, quite thick socks. I would wear them in my shoes. I can wear Dikke socks in my shoes, but I don't know. I think he will wear them at home as lazy, cozy socks for in the evenings or in the morning. I think he will use them like that. So I will give them a nice bath, so the line will disappear and they will be nice and straight. And then I will make a picture and I will give them when his birthday is. So a finished object. I also knit the heel in my own sock. This is the second one. And it's interesting because sock knitting for me is just an easy peasy work. in between for when I am on my way, when I'm in the car and I don't have to drive. Little detail. My husband is mostly driving when we are together. And also when I have to wait somewhere, or I have an appointment with somebody, or just when I'm cooking, socks are perfect for in-between works. But I was at the heel, and then I skipped this sock, and I was thinking, oh, I need a moment to sit down and to knit the heel, because I have to pay attention, and I have to focus on the little steps for the heel to do them. And that was true 1 year ago when I just started the shadow wrap short row heel. But I have knitted so many shadow wrap short row heel. I can almost knit them with my eyes closed. So it was quite interesting to notice that I was telling myself I need a moment, I need a little time to sit down and relax and focus and attention. But I can knit this heel in between. I can just knit a bit and put it away and check, oh, that's the next step I have to do. And so this sock was laying there for a week because I had a busy week and I didn't find a moment to sit down and focus. And then I thought, now I have to knit the sock because I want this little knitting work to do in between. And I knitted my heel in between. And it was quite interesting. What am I telling to myself? Because it isn't hard to do it. So that was a good lesson. That sometimes we tell ourselves things that aren't true anymore. You passed that stadium all long ago, and you forget to tell yourself and to act like that. So that was nice to see. I dropped a stitch. I was looking to my sock and I saw what is happening there, and I saw a little drop stitch, but it was way too far to pick up. I didn't notice. It is at the front. So I secured it with a stitch marker, and when my sock is finished, I will fix it. I will fixate it, I guess, so it can drop anymore. It's just one stitch. It isn't a problem. So this sock is on the go. It is in. It moves. It grows again, and I love it. They don't. They are for me, and I don't need socks, but they are just. Nice, and I love the color caramel fudge. So yeah, they are growing, but they don't. I'm not in a hurry with them. So let's check my notes. Oh, I also knit. I had a very busy week, and the only things I knit on were these socks and my northeasterly blanket, because I add an advent color every day. But I will show it next week when all the colors are in and Advent is over and Christmas is over. And that were the only knitting. It was the only knitting I did last week. So I didn't touch any sweater or cardigan there's on my needle. I have my Straya cardigan for the slow knitting along. And I take it very literally, the slow knitting along, because I don't touch it. So it grows very slow. So I'm quite good at it, I think. But it's also a fingering weight cardigan, so it's more for spring or summer. I'm now much more feeling the warm Letttlopi, the warm Letttlopi cardigan feeling, and so that it was quite cold last week in the Netherlands. Now it's not cold anymore. I guess it's about 10 degrees and raining. It's good for my hair because all the low temperatures, my curls disappear. So it was beautiful outside, all the white and the sun and the bright colors, and I loved it. But my hair is better with rain and gray weather. So. But I didn't touch I also am knitting my Ursina. I knit a few rows, and what have I more? My home sweater V-neck for my daughter, but I also didn't touch it. It's the same thing as my heel from the sock. I have to pick up the stitches for the shoulder, and in my head that's something I need to do when I can focus and have a little time. And that's not true, because it's quite easy to do it. I don't do it because I think I have to sit down easy and relax, but it's not true. So maybe, I should do it quite soon. But I will finally start my Christmas socks. A Dutch knitter designed the O Denneboom, O Christmas tree socks. And I will make my own version of them, and they are laying for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I guess, but I didn't felt the Christmas feeling already. But now my busy period has finished, so I have all the time right now, and that's quite good. That feels quite good, and I have a lot of knitting time coming week. And I am feeling the Christmas feeling. Slowly it's reaching me. It's reaching me. Yesterday we put a Christmas tree in our room. We only put lights in it. I love to decorate it the day before Christmas, on Christmas Eve, to get the festive feeling. But now it's only the green and the little lights in it. And I love the coziness of that and the smell of the tree. I'm very looking forward to knit some Christmas socks. And I was wondering if I would cast on the festive yoke cardigan, or there's another little. I also want to knit the helix cardigan. That's not Christmassy, only the color is a bit Christmassy, but I could see me wearing the helix cardigan on Christmas Day. But there are also such heavy deadlines, and I have such a busy period last month. Oh no, period. I don't think that's the good word. Period is what you have as a lady once a month. Your period. I also have a period last month, but that's not. It's quite funny. I had such a busy time last month. I did a kind of online training I organized for Dutch knitters, and it took all of my time. And there were happening all kind of things in my personal life, and it was so busy, and I every minute was filled with appointments or inspiration. Or it was quite a lot. It was fun. It was quite fun, but it was also was quite a lot. And I also love some quiet time, and normally I try to balance that. Busy time and quiet time, but it didn't work out very well the last 10 weeks, I guess, 11 weeks. So last Friday I finished that online training, and now I am free. So I have all the time, and I will enjoy it, and I have a lot of knitting time. I'm absolutely looking forward to it, because normally I have extreme let me say my knitting time. I do love to have a lot of knitting time, extreme amount of knitting time. And the past few weeks I was very busy, and I had in my opinion quite less knitting time, but I also realized that for some people it would still be a lot of knitting time. I just love knitting, and I want to crochet. I ignored my crochet for weeks, and I'm feeling I want to crochet. I want to crochet my little plant, and I want to crochet a new Ariana cardigan with granny squares. I also want to crochet a blanket. So let's see. But first, the Christmas socks. I will cast on them tonight when my episodes are uploading and are ready, and then I will cast on these socks, and I'm very happy. So next week, next week will be a special one. I will tell you at the end. So that were all my works in progress. And then, some other stuff, just all knitting related. But last week I showed you the Felix cardigans. I paid for them, but a Dutch knitter made them, and she didn't fit in them anymore, and she messaged me and she said, Sarah, I have 4 Felix cardigans in your colors and your favorite yarn. Do you want them? So I I paid her for it so she could buy new yarn for a new cardigan. And then I had 4 Felix cardigans, but it was I don't know the word. No, I have my laptop there. I want to Google Translate. It was quite. Should I look it? It's not nice to look, but Oh, confusing. That's the word. It was quite confusing because a big part of me want to keep all the cardigans, and another quite big part of me said, no, you can't keep them. You have enough Letttlopi in your stash. It was quite cold last week, and the heating is very expensive right now, so it's also very low everywhere. So there were a lot of people who could use such a warm cardigan. I didn't need it because I have a lot of warm cardigans knitted all by myself. And I said in the Dutch episode, if you are interested in one of the cardigans, message me. And I was completely overwhelmed by the amount of messages I got. A lot of people who said, I can knit, but I can't knit a cardigan already. So that was quite overwhelming. And then my I only got more confused, but then because I have to disappoint all those people and I still wasn't getting, why is this happening right now? What is the meaning of this? And then my mother last week fitted so perfectly in one of these cardigans that I could see, it's not the meaning I keep this cardigan, it's made for her. And a few days later, a friend came by. She also messaged me. She was very interested in one of the cardigans, and she put it on, and it was the same as with my mother. It was perfectly around her body, much more perfect than it was on me, and the color, and it was just her cardigan. And I thought, okay, I'm getting it right now. I'm not the receiver. I am the giver. I am the pass-througher. The cardigans has to pass through me. No, not through me. By me to the new owners. But I had this one and the other brown one, and the other brown cardigan, I was feeling a very strong connection with a Dutch knitter. I know a knitting friend of me, and she's also one of the knitters that says I can't knit it by myself right now. I'm just knitting socks, and I'm just a beginner knitter. But it was her color, and I had a very strong feeling it was her cardigan. So we messaged and we texted, and there was a beautiful story around the color, and that confirms that my feeling was right. It was her cardigan. No one knew. The maker, the Dutch knitter who makes the cardigan, we didn't knew it was her cardigan, but we felt it. And now she had the cardigan and she put it on. I wasn't there, but she put it on and she said, it's my cardigan, I can feel it. So that was very beautiful. And this cardigan is also not staying with me because it will also go to a friend. I added buttons to all the cardigans. No, not to all. I bought buttons for all the cardigans, and my mom and one of my friends added them by themselves. And this one I will see my friend on Wednesday, and also the color is perfect for her, and she can use a warm woolly layer, so she will be very happy with it. So after all, I have no cardigans, but the colors, I want the colors, but the Letttlopi is very hard to get at the moment because of all the things that happened in the world, and I tried to collect all the Letttlopi, but I don't have the colors, and I couldn't find it online. But then I remember one shop, when I went to a knitting event a few years ago, I always used to buy my Letttlopi and my Alafoslopi at that shop, and it was a little quite older woman, and her husband was helping her. They were very nice people. And so I looked online, and they had a web shop, and they had a lot of Letttlopi in the right colors. So I bought these colors, the brown, the red brown, and the murky brown. So I can knit my own. I will make a murky brown Felix cardigan. I'm not sure if I will make two, but I love the color. So maybe I will make a sweater or something with it. And this yarn is also the last yarn I bought. In 2022 I bought a lot of yarn because when Letttlopi was hard to get, I thought, oh, it won't happen to me that there is no yarn anymore in the world. it won't happen. But it wasn't okay for me that I had I want to have all the yarn. So I collected a lot of yarn, a lot of yarn. And that was okay, but it's getting too much. So it wasn't feeling okay. And the same with the patterns. I collected a lot of patterns, and I love to buy patterns, and I love to support the designers. But at some point it was getting too much. I only was collecting, and I was getting too much, and then it affects my creativity. It is not feeling, it's not flowing, it is feeling heavy, and I was feeling it. There was too much inspiration. It's a bit at the time of the year, and also there is too much of everything, and that's quite a luxury, I know. But too much isn't, when you ate too much chocolate, it isn't nice anymore. And when you buy too much yarn, it isn't nice anymore. You buy too much patterns, and you watch too much knitting podcasts on YouTube, and you listen too much inspiring podcasts when I was walking, and you have too much inspiring conversations. It is too much, and too much stuff in my home. Too much is a bit the feeling I have the past few weeks. And of course, because I was so busy, that was also too much. So I was thinking in a lot of ways, I want less. Less is more. So I was thinking about the new year, 2023, and what do I want? And I thought, I have so much stuff, so much yarn, so much nice stuff, so much patterns, but also so much inspiration. Now it's time to make it of my own, to I don't know the word in English, to I have my Google Translate. Let's see if I can find it. From Dutch to English. To process it. Because it's all, you have all the things, and then you process it, and it can be a part of you. It can be your own. You take a bit of that, and you take a bit of that. A bit like this sweater. I did a bit of this and a bit of that, and now it's my sweater. It's my own. It's my own creativity, inspired by a designer and all the stuff, and then I make it my own. And I have... when I am only collecting, there is no space to make things to my own, in my knitting, in my crochet, but also in my thinking. What am I thinking? When I'm only looking at other people's life, or only listening to other people's inspiration, I forget what is for me. What do I think? What do I feel? And how do I want to live? And that's what I'm feeling right now. And it's the perfect time of the year for that, to let it go and just have some quiet time. And I skipped all the Vlogmas episodes. It at one day it felt as way too much, and I was only filling myself with other people's lives, and then I thought, no, I want some quiet time, quiet sitting and knitting at the fireplace with a candle, no music, no reading, nothing, watching on YouTube or on television, just sitting with my own and quiet and let it happen. Let all the things become part of me. And what I don't want to be part of me, let it go. So that's the perfect time, this Advent time, the dark days before Christmas, when it's all busy and it's getting Christmas. I thought every year I think, it's also Christmas. But now I want to keep my days empty and quiet. And when it's Christmas, I am longing for the festivity and the busyness and all the people and with my family and friends and celebrating. But I don't have to celebrate every day. Today is just a Monday, just a grey Monday, just a grey, quiet, boring Monday, and then a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Saturday. Then it's Christmas Eve. Then we can start celebrating, and we put all the decoration in the Christmas tree, and we pick out we make all the food, and then we connect, and we have that. So I wasn't planned. It was not my plan to share all my thoughts with you, because now I'm filling you. I hope you put on the pause button when you don't want to be filled with my inspiration. But I decided to do a no-buy stuff for me next year. And first I was thinking about only yarn and patterns, and then I thought, I can do clothes and I can do other stuff. And then first I was thinking about 3 months. No, that's too short, that's too easy. Then 6 months, and I'm not quite sure. So maybe 1 year not buying new stuff would be quite a challenge. Also not secondhand stuff, just no stuff, not just buying nothing. But I think every quarter I will have a little moment. I can reflect and I can check, because sometimes I think in the coming year I need a new pair of shoes, but I'm not quite sure. It's not necessary to buy them now, but I am also not sure if I can not buy shoes for a whole year, and I don't want to walk with shoes with holes or so. Maybe every 3 months I will have a little moment of reflection and see what's really necessary to buy. Maybe I will do that. But I will save a lot of money and a lot of time, and there will be no new input. So I can be creative on my own way, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll keep you posted. Do you say it like that? I will share my journey, of course, in my podcast. So that's quite nice. And I also want to say about the Felix cardigan. I think I want one for myself, not 2, but 1. There were a lot of Dutch knitters who said I'm not sure if I can make it. So I thought, when I'm doing my February filmpjes, I will call it like that. In Dutch, filmpjes is the word for vlogs or episodes. And I think I will also call it that way in English. I decided I will do it in February. I will make every day. I'm not quite sure if I also will do the weekends, because then my family is at home and I don't know if it will take a lot of time. I will make short filmpjes just for a cup of coffee and a little light in the last wintry month, which is in the Netherlands always. I think it's quite a boring, grey, hard month at the end of the winter. So I would love to bring a little light, a little happiness with every day, with a little episode every day, a very little episode. So I call it February filmpjes, also in English, because I couldn't find a lovely English word. I prefer more. So February filmpjes it is. A little English and a little Dutch. But I thought how nice it would be when I start my Felix cardigan at the 1st of February. And I will knit on that in February, and I can share it and my process and tell you about it. And it was for the Dutch knitters who were a bit scared. The one of them, the part of the Dutch knitters who think that it's quite hard, because I think it's absolutely a good beginner's project. But when you are not in the Netherlands, but in another part of the world, and you would like to knit with me, and you also want to make a Felix cardigan, feel free. At the 1st of February, I will cast on mine, and feel free to join me. It would be fun. I will make February filmpjes in Dutch and in English, so also double one every day. It will be quite a challenge, but I love a good challenge. Okay, let's see what. Oh yeah, I received a little gift. A Dutch knitting friend of mine, she also did the online training, and because it was finished, she told me she had a little gift, and she came by and brought it. It's a tiny little box with a sheep on it. It is so lovely, and the inside is even more lovely. I love it. A little lamb and a black sheep. It's perfect to keep your stitch markers in it, and I already have quite some. How do you call it? Little boxes. In Dutch we say blikje. In Dutch this is a blikje, a little box, a little tinnen. I don't know. It's not tinnen, but a little box. It's not paper. It's. I don't know how you say it in English, but it is a little blikje. And it's perfect to keep your stitch markers in, and I really love it. It was a nice gift. And she also gave me, and it was quite fun, this note block. It's from Hannah Dale. Randall Designs by Hannah Dales, also with the sheep, and it's a shopping list. And I told her I am not going to shop in 2023. It's a little magnet I discovered, and you can put it on your the thing a magnet stays on. We have it in the kitchen, and there are all note papers, and there's not shopping list. But I thought how nice it would be when I write down all the stuff I want to buy, but I will not buy because I have a not buying year. And then I have every quarter, I have my reflection moment. And then I can see, do I really want to buy it? Do I really need it? And I also can use them for knitting notes in my knitting book. It is from Livia.nl. It's a little Dutch online shop, and she has the most lovely things. A lot of paper things and tapes and all that kind of stuff. So that was a little lovely present. So let me see. I think I told you everything. Let's check my notes. Yes, I did. Yeah. So next week it will be a special week and a special episode. Next week it will be the week between Christmas and New Year. And it is the last week of the year, and I will make a special episode with all my knits in 2022. And that will be quite a big episode, I guess. And it will take me quite some time because I want to make a Dutch version and an English version. And I'm absolutely sure it will not be finished on Monday, because in the Netherlands we have 2 Christmas days. We have Christmas Eve, then we have first Christmas Day and second Christmas Day. We just love celebrating, I guess. And second Christmas Day is on Monday. And we have all our celebrations with friends and family on Christmas Eve and first Christmas. I say thirst every day, but thirst is you are thirsty. It is the first Christmas Day. Second Christmas Day, it's just a relaxing day. We will watch Christmas movies, and we we'll eat all the leftovers, and we will be in pajamas. I don't like wearing pajamas, but my family does like it, and it will be just an easy peasy relaxed day with the family. So no podcasting then. And then the next days my children are at home. They don't have school, they have holidays, and I will do a little bit of filming now and then, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but my episode will be online in 2022. So you will see it when it's ready. And I'm quite curious what I made. And I also, a Dutch knitter told me she always make a photo album in the week, not a specific crafting, but for her family. And now I have a collaboration. I was inspired by that idea to do it the days between Christmas and New Year. So I figured out, and now I have a collaboration with a company to make a photo album. I will make it from all my Instagram pictures. I never do that, but it's nice to have that and of this year as a I can remember all the things I make. I can look through it. And there will also be a discount code, and it's worldwide, I guess. So if you also like to do that, at the beginning of now, I think February, I will share it, but then you have quite some discount. So if you want to make an album too, keep watching me. So I will share in the first week of February that code you can use. So, that was it, isn't that? I wish you a very lovely Christmas time with all your loved ones or alone or whatever the way you like to celebrate it. And I see you after Christmas with my special episode. See you then. Bye bye.